Hi, and welcome to this week's Letter to Past Self. Today I'm going to be analyzing a game called Shape of the World. The way I'm going to be analyzing this game is exploring the way it uses use in interactive and play to communicate a meaningful storytelling. The Shape of the World is a game where you're constantly going through gates in a vibrant and highly stylized world where majority of what it does is use strong color palette as well as chucking seeds to continually construct and create a larger world. How you keep advancing through this game is by going through gates. Eventually, you start from the bottom of this mountain and eventually go all the way to the top, exploring new and fun, creative ways of going up and up of this mountain. What this game does great is have a strong sense of a color palette and idea of what this world is going to be and feel and look. The color palette does change the mood, but doesn't change the environment that you're in. All the mechanics within inside this is still the same and still coming across in the same way. What the player can do within this environment is interact with the enemies that are inside of it, which are these little octopus people, and they are scared and run away, as well as chuck seeds to plant different flowers. As well as you're going through and exploring the world, you can interact with particular things, either changing its color or increasing its size. Each time you do anything within this game, it creates an audio feedback, which creates satisfaction into the within the player. In this game, it is not necessarily strong narrative, but it is creating a wonderful story within it, allowing the player to explore a beautiful world and conceptualize what they think it is and create their own narrative within inside of it. They're able to do this by letting the player completely have control on what they want to interact with. Different things will react depending on what the player does, but the player can choose on who they want to interact with and how they're going to interact with, as well as creating this mechanic where you can collect five. If you collect five of these same seeds, it will change what you are producing, as well as every time you go through a gate, it will also change the type of things that you can do. Eventually, at the beginning, all you can really do is place different different saplings and stuff, where you create small plants. But as the game goes on, you eventually start creating massive trees, where you can use as a way to leapfrog across the sky and across the thing, where you're projecting yourself forwards. This game allows brighten up a mood with its interesting noises as well as its colors. Other mechanics within this game are ones such as creating staircases. As you're creating the staircase, it creates this which is encouraging the player to follow and go to the next area. If the if the player doesn't do this, they're not necessarily punished for this because they can eventually redo that. They can spend as much time as they want within each area, and I believe that was the goal when creating this type of experience. What I really kind of enjoy about this game is the different ways in which they ask the player to learn new mechanics, but not necessarily telling them. The player only really has one button in which it does either two things: clicks on an object or throws a seed. They're able to communicate how to move around within this world and how to make it more lively by just using these simple mechanics and create very satisfying things. You can do varieties of things with either hopping between different points, seeing how the enemies react when you touch with them, get knocked around, have things scared, run away. It makes you feel that you're really in this world and that you're really contributing to what is happening in this world. The game's mechanics are simple and can be described using mini puzzles to to advance within it. I know I've said this a lot, but I want to reiterate that this is why I believe this is a strong story in narrative design. Not necessarily the story itself, but the way and how it's using interactive experiences to construct a solid idea. They're able to they're able to do this very quite simply, as I've stated, saying before. Not, I don't think that the story itself is not meaningful, but the way it's communicating it is making it very meaningful impact to me as a player. Its interactions with how you enter and leave this world and what you can do within it is impressionable and leaves a thing, as well as using its strong sense of color palette and stylized choices, creating this surreal, dreamlike state, and it's constantly changing on how its mood and feels will look like while still staying its original intent in creating a strong environmental presence. The fact that it uses a lot of calming things. It's a very relaxed and de stressing game in which it's creating a meaningful story that the player is able to construct, as I stated before. This is my letter to past self. I will see you guys next week, and goodbye.